Rich, Aaron Rodgers' future is once again a beautiful mystery.
I think there's two scenarios here. Either he retires or he goes to another team.
I think that this man has a lot of football left in him, but it just won't be with the Green Bay Packers.
Would you leave that division where it's the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions twice a year?
I just hope he stays, but I don't know how they can figure it out. There's got to be an end game.
If Aaron Rodgers is really about winning, I think the best situation for him is to continue on in Green Bay.
I've heard what everybody else has heard, what they're reading. I can't imagine him anywhere else.
I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be back.
Got it, man. End zone. Touchdown. Rodgers to the end zone. Touchdown. He's to the 5 in the end zone for the touchdown.
Hello and welcome to Total Packers. Larry McCarren, along with the dynamic duo from Packers.com, Mike Spofford and Wes Hodkiewicz. And Mike, it seemed like the Packers were in the headlines an awful lot this offseason. And of course, the biggest headline was Aaron Rodgers deciding to return for an 18th season in Green Bay.
Absolutely, Rock. No player in Packers history has worn that green and gold longer than Aaron Rodgers, and he will now extend that record with a new contract. The back-to-back reigning MVP in the NFL is back to continue to pursue that elusive second Super Bowl.
And Wes, the Packers were also everybody's lead story when they traded Devonte Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, caught a lot of people off guard, but I think the more you take the emotion out of it, the more it really made sense for both parties. Look at it from Devonte's case. He's able to get a new chapter now with Derek Carr in Las Vegas, but then also the Green Bay Packers got some draft picks out of this. They got some cap space and really been able to begin to build that 2022 roster.
Replacing Devonte, arguably the best receiver in the business, certainly qualifies as a rather daunting task, and it falls right into the wheelhouse of Packers GM Brian Gutekunst.
You never really replace a guy like Devonte Adams. It's going to be more cumulative on how the whole team steps up and plays and what we can add to that. So getting kind of the 2 picks and having 4 picks in the top 59, I think gives us a little bit of ammunition to try to make the difference there a little bit. Get a lot of time between now and September, but that's an area we're going to have to address.
If the Packers pick anything other than a wide receiver with their top pick, I can already hear the collective groan coming from Packer fans. Mike, it is supposed to be a big year for wide receivers. Has anyone caught your eye?
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. I really like Treylon Berks out of Arkansas. Now, what I like most about him is his size, 6'2", 225 pounds. He's not the speed burner some of these other receivers are in this draft, but 4.55 in the 40 at 225 is not exactly slow. He's got some experience as a return man, 6 100-yard games last year. Berks from Arkansas is impressive.
Wes, how about you? Anybody you like?
Yeah, and kind of on the other side of things, Chris Salade out of Ohio State. Now, he doesn't have the size that necessarily you're looking for with the Berks, but he really does it all, and I was really impressed by the run he had. He has the speed that Matt LaFleur was talking about as far as being able to take the top off of defense, but he's also really well-rounded, has a good route-running feel. I think, he doesn't have that typical size, but I really like his upside.
Although the Packers have some work to do at wide receiver, their backfield is strong and deep with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. As a matter of fact, Matt LaFleur says he's got 2 number 1 running backs, kind of a thunder and lightning deal, and recently we sat down with the Thunder.
Hands off to Dillon, left side, breaks the tackle. Boy, you can feel it all the way up here. Calling it emergence. This is me coming in to do the apex. Best stepping over you. He is a true power backer, guys. In the middle. He's got Dillon, breaks the tackle to the end zone. Touchdown! Never fall back, never quit. Can I get rewards without the risk? Flexing with their hand of vigorness. You will never see another like this. Call it an emergence.
He is a premier back. We're fortunate. We've got 2 number 1 backs.
At the Combine, Matt LaFleur called you a, quote, premier back. And to get ready for this interview, I watched some highlights of you from last season. And it boils down to this. You are nifty enough to make a miss, but nasty enough to run them over. How do you decide between the two?
You know, it's something I'm still working on. I feel like when I can master that, that's when I think I'll really be at the prime of my game. It's still something I'm working on. I don't really care how I get there, but I want to end positive. I want to drag you for 2 or 3 extra, and I want to finish forward. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks, how flashy the run was. That's just how I'm going to get it done. So it's always been my mindset, so I'm happy to keep adding to my game.
Now, last season, AJ, you and Aaron Jones both totaled 1,100 plus yards from scrimmage. Just the second time that's happened in franchise history.
They can't stop us. Can't stop us.
In a very egocentric business, it does not look like you guys are competing for touches. It looks like you guys are embracing the job sharing. Would that be accurate?
I'd say so. I think we are constantly trying to make each other better. Jonesy, obviously, the vet, had so many different experiences. You know, in times where I'm put in situations that I haven't been in, he's able to, you know, kind of reel it all in and be like, hey, I've been here. This is what you need to do. Just relax. And even sometimes in situations that are new to him that I might have been into, or he's been looking at something the same way and I'm a pair of fresh eyes. So we really work well together, and like you said, 1,100 yards, I guess, for the second time. This year we're going to try to get 1,500 apiece. So it's really great to be there for one another and keep each other fresh. You know, that's how you last the season, so it's awesome.
Do you have, as you approach next season, some expectations or goals for yourself in year 3?
Becoming more of a leader. Something I'm looking forward to this year is not viewing myself as a younger guy. Not necessarily going, oh yeah, I'm a vet, I've been doing this forever, but more so just that having that confidence that, you know, I'm here, I belong here, I've done it. I don't have to look for somebody else for answers. I can lead by example. Never been the most outspoken guy, but if a time comes up where I need to, being able to take that leadership role. So I think that's what I'm most excited for.
Dillon, big hole up the middle. Dillon to the 5 and rope down just short of the goal line.
Tell me about the Tunein to Dillon podcast.
It's actually a little play on words. So I do it with my brother-in-law. My fiance and my brother-in-law's last name is Tunein. Which also sounds like tuning in, like watching something. So tune into Dillon. And my fiance's name is changing from Tunein to Dillon. We've had Alan Lazard on there, Charlie Barron's, a Wisconsin legend and comedian. It's been really fun. And it's you joked around about me coming for your job last year. And so now I'm just putting tape to my resume. I need somebody to go watch my podcast highlights and give me a job in front of the camera.
Well, I listened to it, and I learned that you consider Chick-fil-A fine dining, and that you have ordered your own jugs machine.
Yes.
What in the name of Vince Lombardi are you going to do with that?
So my thought process is I spend so much time in Door County. I want to still get, I still want to catch a couple footballs. So I was like, you know what, I'll just order a jug machine, and then I can teach my fiance, I can teach the dog, anybody can load up the football, and I'll get like 50 catches every day in the morning and then go about my day. Some people go for a morning walk. I'll catch my morning footballs and call it a day. Just keeping me right for this upcoming season.
Well, AJ, best of luck with the podcast, best of luck with the upcoming marriage, and of course, best of luck with football. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, as always.
This is something that I've heard from so many of our fans over the years, particularly in London. We are really excited to be playing in London.
For our fans, it's going to be pretty exciting. I know everybody's pretty fired up about it. I know our fans will love it. Obviously, the Packer brand is all over the world. Packer Nation will show up strong.
It's going to be great. It's great for our game. It'll be great to see a ton of Packers jerseys over there. That day, we'll see a lot of green and yellow.
The Packers embark on their first trip across the Big Pond next season, and we're not talking Lake Michigan. The date and opponent should be announced in the coming weeks. along with the rest of the 2022 schedule. Plenty of marquee opponents on tap, 7 of which made last year's postseason, including a home contest against the Super Bowl champion Rams.
I've never been put in the position to make plays week in and week out. Green Bay allowed me that opportunity. There's nothing I need to prove. Just check the tape, check the tape, check the tape, check the tape.
He is gobbled up by Campbell.
Run, pass, inside, outside. Campbell just shows up.
You that guy, everybody. You that guy.
Day one, I've always felt like I've been a top backer in this league.
Throws it over the middle, intercepted. Devondre Campbell.
And if people watched the tape, they would have saw that themselves.
Get it done. Hit it on 3. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
Devondre Campbell was a standout on last year's top 10 defense, and he'll be back in 2022. Also returning, Rasul Douglas, not to mention newcomers Jaron Reed on the defensive line and corner Keyshawn Nixon. The Packers also extended Preston Smith, who bounced back with a 9-sack season in 2021. We are joined once again by Mike and Wes. And Mike, the draftniks, the experts, are saying the Packers still need some help up front. What say you?
Well, the Packers certainly could use another Kenny Clark type on the interior of the defensive line. And my guy in this draft, if he's there when the Packers are on the clock, is Devonte Wyatt from Georgia. There are 3 defensive linemen from Georgia that could go in the first round here, but Wyatt, 304 pounds. He's got that combination of run stopping, pass rush ability. Jordan Davis, the 340-pounder on Georgia's defensive line, ran a 4.7 840 and got a lot of attention. Well, Wyatt ran a 4.7 740 at 304 pounds. This guy's got a lot of ability and agility.
Wes, if the Packers go defense, where do they go and who will?
I really like George Karlaftis from Purdue. I mean, you're talking about guys with high upside. They really don't get any bigger than him. I mean, a guy that was sort of a late bloomer with the sport, picking up a little bit later, but a 38-inch vertical from an edge rusher really caught my eye. Packers have a need there with Zadarius Smith gone. They need to be able to fill out that rotation. Karlaftis, I love the comparisons to Ryan Kerrigan with him. I think he's a guy that can really deepen out that room.
Thank you, Wes. This time of year, improvement from within takes a back seat to the draft, but it matters a lot. And that brings us to Dean Lowry. Last season, he had a career best 42 pressures. And to put that number in perspective, that's how many he had in the previous 2 seasons combined.
Second down and 12, takes the snap. Lines up, throws right side, it's knocked down, incomplete.
Nice
Dean
job,
Lowry.
Yeah.
I noticed a change in Dean's pass rush during the Bengals game. Finesse was out and physical was in. Look at him right here, right over the top with the bull rush. Great penetration. He bats down the Joe Burrow pass. He had 2 PBUs in the game and a half sack. And from that point forward, Dean made the bull rush an art form. The Let's Get Physical tour continues. Number 79 weighs 330 pounds, but Dean puts him on skates, knocks him into the running back, and then right on his rear end, and then it's on to the quarterback. And after some twisting and turning, Dean puts Taylor Heineke right on his Heineke. This rush is a little different because it involves a stunt, but the approach is the same. No flash, all force. Look at Dean. He just basically bulldozes his way past those blockers, and he's in on Baker Mayfield to score the sack. This is not complicated. Dean just attacks the blocker and then runs him over on his way to the quarterback. Last season, he had a career best 42 pressures, a career best 4 passes broken up, and a career best 5 sacks. That is improvement from within.
I tell him all the time, like, he doesn't understand how strong he is, man. Like, he's tall, big frame guy. We call him the Rhino. You know what I'm saying? So he can bull rush anybody.
Under pressure, he's hit and sacked, and it is Dean Lowry who arrives on the scene.
So what's new?
Whatever questions you guys have.
You can run the ball the first play?
Well, there's a 50-50 chance. The transition's been great. The staff is great.
Really appreciative of the organization, of Matt.
Excited for the challenge, and I know these guys are too. When you look at the talent and the production that these guys have had, I think we've got a solid group.
You have to have great attention to detail.
So you had a toolbox. There's a lot of tools that you have with these guys.
They're hungry, they're smart, they're talented.
You sell out, every inch matters.
True pros in this room, and there was a standard set here a long time ago.
Coming back to Green Bay with Aaron, chance to win a Super Bowl, those are the primary considerations.
The standard is winning it all, and to be a part of something like that to me is energizing.
This is certainly the biggest overhaul the coaching staff has seen under Matt LaFleur. Plenty of promotions on the offensive side of the ball due to the departure of OC Nathaniel Hackett and QB coach Luke Getsy. Adam Stenovich and Rich Bisaccia step in to fill the open coordinator roles. We are joined now by the Packers' new special teams coordinator, Rich Bisaccia. Rich, welcome to Green Bay. How have the first couple months gone?
Outstanding. We've had some great snow days here, and good to be back in that kind of weather. But just so fortunate to have a chance to be with the Green Bay Packers and the folklore that's gone through here and the tradition that's here, the standard and the expectations of the Green Bay Packers. So it's exciting to be a part of this right now.
Listening to Matt LaFleur talk about you at the Combine, I got the sense that he feels you're not only going to be good for special teams, you're going to be good for the entire operation, the entire building. Attitudes are contagious. What do you bring to the Green Bay Packers attitude-wise?
Well, I'm certainly appreciative of the kind words. I'm just here to serve, Coach LaFleur and, to serve the Packers. I just think we're going to try to build a unit within the unit of our team. We're going to try to build a group of men that, learn how to care about each other. They got to know what to do. They got to compete with relentless effort. And they're going to learn to play together. To your point about attitudes are contagious, I'm hoping that everybody in the building has a good one, because we're all going to need it.
When you look at a guy, what makes the good special teamer?
Special teams, in my opinion, is not really just run down the field with your hair on fire anymore. There's a lot more things that come to it, that make you a good team player on special teams within the team itself, right? I'd like to think that, we start the game, either kickoff or kickoff return. The offense doesn't start the game, the defense doesn't start the game. So we're looking for players, guys that can help us win games. But I just think as a football player, you'd like to see evidence of guys that love to play. And then there's a certain sense of, how can I help us win by playing on the punt team or field goal protection or wherever it might be. So the only we really want to hear is, what can I do to help us win?
Is part of the thing, do you have to make it cool to be a Green Bay Packer special teamer?
It's really cool to be a Green Bay Packer. I mean, I just think the expectation in Green Bay is to win it all. I know I came here for that reason, and I'd like to think that when a guy gets drafted here, he walks through this building and he goes, I'm here to help win it all. To have the opportunity to be here and be a part of that expectation, be a part of that standard is something that just invigorates me personally.
How do you approach, Rich, coaching specialists? That's kind of a whole different arena, is it not?
We're looking for football players that happen to specialize in specific skills, right? So a guy that can kick the football, a guy that can snap it, a guy that can punt it or hold it. And we have, certainly Mason's been here a long time, and he's been really productive. He's really played well. We think we went and got a good punter in Pat, and we're excited about him, and I've followed his career for a long time. He's played well in cold weather, and we're still through the competition at all three positions. I just think those are football players that have particular skills that we hope to help them along the way. So we're going to work with what we have and see what happens.
The Green Bay Packers, as of late, have not enjoyed a lot of special team success. You have, and I'm sure you've watched the Packer video from last season, possibly beyond. And this is for Packer fans everywhere. You've seen the video. Is there hope?
No disrespect to anybody, we're really excited about what's going on today. The work we're putting in today, and what tomorrow looks like. So trust me, there's going to be bad moments now. There's going to be some bad plays. There's going to be just part of it. Again, we're going to try to put a group together that can improve every single day and give us a chance to be a part of the win when it's all over.
If I were a betting man, I'd bet Rich Bisaccia gets the Packers special teams straightened out in a big way. What he did with the Las Vegas Raiders as their interim head coach last season was nothing short of amazing. Back with Mike and Wes, and it's been an off-season of change in the NFC North. The Bears and Vikings basically starting over. The Lions just in year 2 of their rebuild. Mike, what has caught your attention?
Well, Larry, I want to start with the Vikings because you mentioned it starting over. New head coach, new general manager there in Minnesota, but a lot of the same cast of characters. You got Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson on offense. You got Eric Kendricks, Harrison Smith on defense. But you're also going to have a couple of former Packers defenders who have crossed the border, Zadarius Smith and Shannon Sullivan. A little extra spice added to this rivalry.
I know Packer fans won't want to hear me saying this, but I love what the Detroit Lions have done. I mean, there's so many teams when you're rebuilding, they just want to throw money at players. Detroit's trusting their process. They're going to draft players and they're going to develop them. And they may not be contenders this year, Larry, but I do see them kind of turning this thing around under Dan Campbell. I love the approach. They're making smart signings so far.
Guys, believe it or not, the Packers off-season program starts on Monday, April 18th. So buckle it up and screw it on tight. Right. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for watching. Until next time, whenever that is, take care.